Hey guys, what's up? It's Catherine, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I take notes on my iPad Pro for college. I showed you guys this in my back to school video. A ton of you guys asked me to do a video on how I take notes, everything like that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Well, let's just hop into it. Okay, so this is the iPad Pro that I have. This is the 11-inch, and then I just have some sort of, I think it's like a spec cover, something I just found it on Amazon. And then I have the magnetic Apple Pencil that goes with it. All right, so this is what you see when you look at my lock screen. And I love that it has the Face ID. So the main app that I use for notes in school is Notability. I know there are a ton of other ones out there, but when I was searching for my iPad and I decided that I kind of wanted to get one, I just really liked the way that Notability was laid out and everything about it. So that is what we were gonna go into. Okay, I think you can choose like a theme, if that makes sense, on here. I think that's why I have it on like a dark theme, because I always choose to have my backgrounds and everything darker and then like everything else highlighted brighter. That's my personal way of enjoying to like view things. So over here you can see I have all of my notes, and it's only like the second or third week of school now, so I don't have too many yet, but these are the main classes that I'm taking notes on here for. The other ones I'm either taking notes online or on my laptop or something like that. So it lets you have different folders for each of your notes, which is really nice. And then you can go here and you can just see like all of your notes. Then if you click here, you can like drag and drop notes, move them to different folders, stuff like that. If you click this, you can share your notes. You can choose a note to share and like share it with someone or on your phone or something like that. And then this is how you add a new subject. And then you can also create a divider for it, which is really nice. I don't need that. And I don't know. And then why won't you go away? Clearly, I'm still working with this. I don't know everything about it quite yet. And then down here, you have your settings. That's how I changed it. So you can have a light theme, you can have a dark theme, or there's like more themes. I don't like that. We're gonna go back to the dark theme. I just like how it looks when you look at it. It helps me focus a little more, and I cannot stare at like super bright things all the time. So then, over here you have basically everything that you can sort it by, and then if you need to search for anything like specific notes, so if you were to have a whole bunch of notes, you could search through that. Down here is where you can import something, so some of them you can import from like your Google Drive, or if you use any of these other things, you can import stuff from that into here and then write on it. So I'll go into one. These were one of the first few notes that I took. As you guys can see, I didn't know how to like switch up anything yet, so everything's pretty bright. But basically you can just like handwrite all of your notes like you would onto any sort of lined paper. What I love about this is that you can customize the paper to exactly what you want. So let's go into these, for example. This is personally how I like to take my notes. It might drive some other people crazy, but I love the white and black look, and it helps me retain information a little bit better. So that's personally what I like to use. And then this one, as you guys can see, is different. This I have on graph paper. So if you click this little thing over here in the corner, it will pull out basically all of your notes, which I always like zoom in so I get like the full effect. But then if you click the little settings thing, you can go into paper and you can choose what kind of paper that you want. So they have blank paper, lined, different size lined paper, and then your graph paper, which I usually use that one. And then you can also change the actual color of your paper. So if you wanted just regular white paper, you can click that and have white paper, but I like the black background on the paper with the white lines and everything. For me, it just works a little bit better. So that's everything in settings that you can do. So then if you just want this to go away, you can tap here and it'll zoom back into your notes. So for my notes, when it comes to actually writing them, as you can see, like the squares are pretty small for this graph paper. So what I usually do is I will zoom in and I will write my notes and try to stay like within the lines while they're zoomed in. And then when I'm done, I can zoom out and everything's pretty much in like a very nice line and like order. As you guys can see, like mostly it's pretty well written and like spaced out. At least for me, it all makes sense. So then after I have done all of my note taking, I will usually go back and they have all of these options up here, so you can like type stuff. This is your pencil, so you click this and you can basically change the size. how it writes, if you want it like thin, thick, super tiny. And then you can change all of these colors in here. There's so many different colors. You can also add your own colors here. So if you have something that you want to have like a specific really pretty color for, you can just add your own in there, and it's super awesome. So since I have the black background, I have the white pencil here, and then I usually keep it on this one and then this particular size for like my handwriting and everything. So that's that. And then this is your highlighter. You can basically do the exact same thing if you want it like more of like a thin, like faded line, or if you want like more of like a dark line. And then you can change the size of it. You can change the color of everything. This is one of my favorite ones because it's like a nice gold beige color. And then over here, you can obviously add your own colors, stuff like that. So that is your highlighter, and this is your eraser. You can basically just like erase everything. And it's really nice because if you've drawn something in like one line, it'll just kind of erase it all together for you. And then you have the scissors if you want to cut something, and then basically if you just want to move up and down the page without like writing all over it. So I will go back. This is basically just like what one set of notes for me looks like, and then you can see like it's spaced like doubly right here for the page break. So another awesome thing that I love about this, let me actually go back into here, is that you can record your, whoops, see that's what happened. Then you can just erase it in one line. So if you go like that, then you can move up and down your page. So this is something you can basically just click here, and then now as you can see it's recording the audio, basically like what I'm talking right now, and then it just syncs up with your notes. So if you ever want to go back to your notes and you forget kind of what your professor said, you can always just go back into here, and let me just delete that one. But you can always go back and like see all the recordings that you did, listen to them as you're going through your notes, which is super, super helpful. Okay, another option that you can do, what I love doing for some of my classes, is exporting my PowerPoint into a PDF. And once it's imported, you can basically write on it like you would for any other type of note in here. So you can basically just write on here whatever notes you want to take, blah, 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 blah. As you guys can see, I already took all my notes when I was in class for this one. So you can just erase that in one swipe, and since you drew it all in one like motion, it'll erase everything for you, which is super awesome. So I love doing this because then in class, I'm not sitting there trying to write down every single thing that's on the PowerPoint. I'm more so writing down what the professor is saying about this certain slide and like any extra information. And so then like the titles, stuff like that, stuff that she highlights on, I will just highlight myself. Again, you can like tap the highlighter up here, choose your color, highlight whatever you want. And then as you go through, you can like change the color, you can change the highlighter, you can basically like customize it however you want, which I love. But I love this method so much more because one, I'm not printing out, like as you guys can see, I don't know if you can see down here, but it's 64 slides worth of a PowerPoint, and I'm not having to print those out and waste some paper. So I can basically just import those 64 slides into a PDF, and then I just write on the actual PDF itself, and I'm not missing any of the notes or any of the like specific points on the PowerPoint. And then also if you go to the bathroom, you can literally just leave this recording while you go to the bathroom. That way if you miss anything, you can come back to your notes later on when you're studying and kind of remember what the professor said while you were gone. So it's actually so nice because if you need to get up and go pee, you're not gonna miss part of the lecture. Like you can come back and hear it again and remember it. So those are the few key points that I absolutely love about Notability. If you want to start a new note, basically just go into here, customize your paper however you want. So I'll customize it to this, and I'll do the lines, and that way I can show you guys like an example of how I take my notes. So then I will click over to the pencil here, choose the white, and make sure it's that size. And then I always zoom in and start writing. So and then I move over. Yeah, you kind of get the point. And then you zoom out, and then you have a sentence that isn't totally grammatically correct. So then you just take your highlighter, and if I want to highlight it yellow, I just go all the way across in yellow. and then it's highlighted in yellow. But if you don't like the highlighter in yellow, don't just go to the eraser and erase it, because it's going to erase part of your work too. So there's this little undo button, which is really nice. So if you've highlighted it and you don't actually like it, hit the undo button, save your work, go back in here, click a different color, and you can highlight it. So basically, that is how I take all of my notes in college. It's super simple. I love the whole setup that Notability has. Again, there's tons of other different note-taking apps that they have for the iPads and anything else. So if you guys don't like the setup of this one, you can always choose a different one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will catch you guys in my next video.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body.